family. We are back. Myself, Ike Jones. We're live from SEC Media Days, but can't miss a chance to talk a little basketball with our guy, Bruce Pearl. Bruce, thanks for joining us today.
Mike and Ike, what's going on?
All right. Not too much, man. Good to see you.
Well, Coach Pearl, you just recently got done with putting another top 5 player in the NBA draft. I know you spent some time with Jabari. Can you talk to the people at home a little bit about what it's like every year putting guys into the first year of the draft? I know you were proud of him. I saw him in the Atlanta airport a few days ago. He looks like an NBA player, man. How's he doing?
He's doing great, and he did a really nice job out there in the summer league. And I'm happy for him and proud of him. And I know he had an unbelievable experience at Auburn and loved being here, loved the Auburn family, loved the jungle, loved winning a championship and making history, and loved living his dream, which was to try to get better and be in a place that he's in right now. So he checks off every single box that he wanted to check, and it's all on him because of what kind of kid he is, how he was raised by 2 great parents, the people that he surrounded himself with, kept it tight. A great coaching staff, strength coaching staff, and assistant coaches that have done a great job developing him. We put him in some good spots, and it's a great story. And then for me, the fact that we put 5 or 6 guys in there the last 4 years, all that does to me is, man, I got to go out there and find another one, which doesn't make it any easier. I'd like for some of these dudes to stick around for more than 1 year.
Yeah, Coach Pearl, I know it's got to be tough, but listen, not only did Jabari Smith go in the first round, but you had the opportunity to get a second player drafted in the first round. What does that say about the program that you're building at Auburn right now?
It says something about it, but you know what? More dismissed. So it's more about the kids and the staff. So, take Walker Kessler, Bob. I love these 2 kids. Again, great kid, hard worker, unbelievable family. They both stayed home so their families and their people could be in their lives. And they were regulars at our games, both home and on the road. And they got better. And they were in the gym, and all they cared about was winning. They were unselfish. They weren't worrying about their own numbers. They weren't worrying about being, first-round NBA draft picks or the first pick of the draft in Jabari case. They just wanted to get better and they want to win and let the chips fall where they may. And lo and behold, Walker becomes a Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. Has as much impact on this league as any newcomer. And it was just wonderful. I'm proud of the fact that we've had 6 guys from Georgia, specifically Atlanta, get drafted in the last 4 years. I mean, with the exception of maybe Anthony Edwards coming out of Georgia, there aren't that many guys that have made it. Our guys, almost all of them have made it. And of course, Jared Harper is with the New Orleans Pelicans. So very, very happy and proud that the kids in this area can stay home, win championships, get quality education, and be able to develop and get into the NBA.
Coach, you made headlines talking about Walker Kessler being more NBA ready than Chet Holmgren. Now, that's a sentiment that I definitely agree with. Tell us, you have an eye for talent, and obviously you've done well over your career, so I trust your evaluation. I trust it more because it's also my evaluation. But tell us about why you think that a guy like Walker Kessler is more NBA ready than Chet Holmgren?
Well, first of all, I actually never said it. And you know what? God bless some of you guys in the media for who may take one thing that I said, somebody would say, and turn it into an entire story. The guy that's on First Take. No, he's on a First Take. He's the Vanderbilt.
Skip Bayless.
Skip, thank you for bringing that in there. Yeah. By the way, you don't want to get in a pissing contest with anybody that buys their ink by the barrel or has the microphone in his mouth every single time. Okay. I'd love to see me on tape saying that I said Walker Kessler was either better or more ready. Look, there are certain things that Walker Kessler does that Chet doesn't do, but I've not been in position to see what he could do. I've not been at Gonzaga practice. Obviously, I'm pushing, my guys. I think Walker can impact the game defensively, probably. I mean, look, the numbers speak for itself as far as what he did blocking shots and so on and so forth. And my comment about Chet was simply about, I compared him to Sean Bradley. And I said, look, Sean Bradley was a great player. He just physically was built like Chet and had injuries through his career. So anybody that's built like Chet's built, that's one thing that anybody's got to be concerned about. I said it, and everybody kind of picked up on it. No, I never said that Walker was more ready. Walker's ready. Walker's ready. And you know what? The great thing about being him in Utah right now rather than Minnesota, he's going to get on the floor at Utah. At Minnesota, he's going to be on a team that's going to try to make a run, to maybe be a Western Conference Finals team or something like that. That roster's ready. And now with Gobert, it's even more ready. And Walker would have played less minutes and more pressure to win games. Man, at Utah, he's going to be out there. They're not going to win as much, but he's going to be out there.
All right, Coach. Well, listen, let's pivot from the past and let's talk a little bit about the future. Let's talk about this team that is ready to suit up for the Auburn Tigers this year. You guys have a couple of challenges as far as traveling to go play. How are you getting the team ready to go out there and play these games in these foreign soils?
Well, first of all, we're going to be in like the four corners of the earth. Like we're going to Israel this summer. We're traveling to Cancun before Thanksgiving. And then we're going out west to play USC in Washington. And then we're going to go to West Virginia. I mean, we're going to be all over,
How can we get in on this Cancun trip is what I want to know.
Man, it's prior to Thanksgiving, man. The rates aren't too terribly bad. Y'all need to jump on board. And the thing is, we come back Thanksgiving morning or maybe the night before. So that way you can get your Thanksgiving dinner and you get ready and right for the Iron Bowl. You won't miss a thing. The NCAA allows college teams to travel once every 4 years. And since I was 22 years old, an assistant at Stanford, where I took my first foreign tour, we went to Tokyo, we went to Japan, an amazing trip to the Orient. And then 4 years later, we went to China with Iowa. And that was before the fall of the Tiananmen Square. I got to see Shanghai in 1986. When it was like a third world country, not even that advanced. And now all of a sudden, you look at it today, see how the world built China. And so it's been an unbelievable experience. And so for our guys to be able to go to the birthplace of virtually all the religions of the world, Israel, is just amazing. They're going to see where Jesus was born, where he taught, where he walked, where he was crucified, and where he was resurrected. They're going to see, where Abraham and Isaac and Jacob lived in the land of Israel. They're going to see the Western Wall. They're going to see the city of David, King David's his palace. They're going to see the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is a holy site for the month. They're going to see it all. And there's not a place on earth where I think you can be on this earth and feel closer to God. And so we're opening up their hearts, we're opening up their minds, and we're going to go there. The basketball is going to be incredible. We're going to be playing the Israeli national team, the U20 team. It's going to be all we want. And ESPN and Jay Billis and Roxy Bernstein are going to be traveling with us on this tour. We'll be going to Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Museum, everything. And they're going to be right alongside with us. So what a great experience for Auburn. We're the first Power 5 college basketball team to ever go. And guys, my goal and dream is to create this tournament, this atmosphere every year for college basketball teams. And we're calling it Birthright for Basketball. And I'm hoping that next year we take several college teams over there. Auburn will be the first.
Coach, what an amazing thing to be able to offer a lot of kids who may not have ever left the continental United States, right? So pivoting now to the team that you have coming in. You guys picked up Janai Broom. You went out and you got Johan. You've got some new guys here, and you've got guards returning from last year's team. Talk to us about the makeup of this team and what you're learning about your team this summer. What kind of offensive identity is Auburn basketball going to have this fall?
We may not be the same jump shooting team that we were a year ago because we had the best jump shooter in college basketball in Jabari Smith. But let's just start with the returning guys. If the returning guys get better, we got a chance to be very good again. If they don't, we won't. That's how I always look at it. So, Wendell Green and Zep Jasper, Katie Johnson, Leor Berman, Al Flanagan and Chris Moore, Jalen Williams and Dylan Carwell, Stretch Babatunde. Those guys all played basketball at Auburn. They've all worked hard over the summer. But for us to be really good without the two best players in frontline in college basketball, These guys returning all have got to get better. And I think they are all in position. But we'll see. And I'm excited about that experience. And I'm pleased with their work ethic so far. The new guys, Trey Donaldson, that football player from Florida, who's a point guard, and he's a leader, and he's a great kid, and obviously focusing now just on basketball instead of football and basketball. He's getting an opportunity to really work on his game and really work on his skills. He'll give us some great depth in the backcourt. Chance Westry, who finished out his last year out there in Phoenix, got a real talent. He can play 1 through 3. He's 6'4", 6'5". He's long. He's got real IQ. He's got some smooth to his game. He's a player. And then the two big kids, John I. Broom, Yohan Traylor. John I. is a big, strong, physical player. He's a proven low post threat. He's a really, really good basketball player. Got a good feel for the game. He's working on his outside shooting. He's working on his perimeter game. And that's the next step in his development because he played with his back to basket exclusively at Morehead State. And just a great kid and a real hard worker. And then John I. Broom, and then Yohan Traylor, very, very talented. You could see that next level talent, length, size, jumping ability, shooting ability, young in the game, just young in playing the game. So needs reps, needs experience, but all great attitude, hard worker. So we'll see. We're going to get hit in the mouth when we go to Israel for sure. I'm going to play everybody. I'm going to go there, try to win games, but I'm actually going to play everybody. So it's not like I'm going to be playing the best players 30 minutes a game. A lot of 20 minutes a game out there. Give everybody a chance, and then we'll come home, and then we'll put it together.
Coach, one of these days, you got to convince one of these young stars to come back for a second year. Is Yohan your next one and done, or are you hoping to maybe hold on to him for 2 years straight?
I won't hold on to anybody that got a chance to go in the first round, or should go in the first round. And we knew JT really wanted to go pro, and we knew that even if he wasn't a first rounder, that's what he wanted, okay? Jabari and Walker wouldn't have left without first round, neither would Isaac or Chuma. The one guy that we didn't really know for sure was Sharif, and would have been nice to have him on a team last year. That team could have won, could have been really even more special. But look, my job is to get him ready and to try to get him the right information. I definitely think a couple of our guys have a chance. We got Dylan Cardwell and Jalen Williams stretch. Those 3 big guys have improved. Janai and Johan are really talented. I got 5 good bigs, and so we're going to have great depth at the position, and we got great competition for starting positions and roles.
Well, you already said it where I was going next, Coach. It does seem as if the front court is now the strength of this basketball team. Not that you don't have good guard play, but is that going to change your philosophy? I know you've been doing a lot of stuff that caters to being able to shoot the ball really well from the outside. You just don't have that shooting right now. Do you anticipate changing a little bit more and trying to go down to the post more with those players like that?
I think we will a little bit, but man, that low post game is lost. It's lost in the NBA. There's not a ton of it in college. Or the way they referee the game, they just let them kill you down there. And back in the day, throwing it in was a high percentage look. Now it just isn't. But yeah, you got to scratch where it itches. That's what the great football coach at Iowa taught me, Hayden Fry. Scratch where it itches. You got to go to your strengths. We'll figure out what our strengths are. We'll display them. We'll identify our weaknesses. We'll hide them. And so for me right now to tell you how we're going to play, that's why we're going to Israel this summer, to figure out how we're going to play.
Coach, you guys, you've taken Auburn basketball to a place where you guys are hunted now. There's an expectation that Auburn is going to be good, that you're going to put a good team on the floor. What kind of things are you guys doing this offseason to help keep the team focused, tune out the hype, and stay hungry to go after another SEC title?
You've seen me at practice, okay? You've listened to me before. You think there's any chance that this basketball team is going to be not hungry or not humble? I'll slap the cocky right out of them. I guarantee you. Now, that's not happening. Now we're going to be confident because we're going to feel prepared. But we're not going to be. Look, we've not accomplished anything. We got one of the most challenging schedules that we put together. Those 3 road games at West Virginia, at Washington, at USC in the non-conference. Man, that's almost crazy. And we got St. Louis coming into our place. We're going to play Memphis and Atlanta. I mean, we got to go to Cancun and play in that tournament. I mean, it's it's probably the toughest non-conference schedule that I've got. With a roster that's going to be fifth or sixth, you know, the way the league's going to go down, it'll be Arkansas and Tennessee and Kentucky and Alabama. They'll be picked ahead of everybody. And then it's going to be that next group. And we're going to be in that next group with maybe Florida. Maybe Vanderbilt could be a little better. Who knows between the Mississippi schools? And I don't mean to leave anybody out, but I mean, I think we'll be in that next group. And guys, don't forget, last year we were picked fifth also, and we won the league. So we've never been picked too terribly high, and we usually finish where we're picked or better.
Coach, I want to talk a little bit about the big guard position, specifically Allen Flanagan. Worked his way back from injury last year, probably didn't have the season that he wanted. Went and tested the waters a little bit in the offseason just to see where he was against some of those pro prospects. Where is he right now mentally in preparation for coming back to the season? And then physically, do you feel like he's really starting to get his legs back under it?
It looks like he's starting to get his legs back here this month. He didn't have it, I don't think, in the spring when he went and worked out for those pro teams. And, of course, listen, when your game is your strength and your athleticism, your physicality, and then with that Achilles injury, you lose that edge, then it becomes some other intangibles. And that's not what everybody loved about Allen. They loved his size. They loved his strength. They loved his power. They loved his toughness. They loved his physicality. They loved his ability to score through contact, defend multiple positions, rebound his position, all the things that great athletes and powerful athletes need to do. And so with the Achilles, you took some of that away. You actually took a lot of it away. And then, you know, having to rely on some other things that Al just doesn't have at a high level, put him in a position where he wasn't as effective for us on the floor and he wasn't draftable. And so, look, he's in a way better position physically. He's going to get an opportunity to be able to demonstrate. Now, the good thing is there is competition. You know, I've got like 7 or 8 guys. Like, here's the deal. Just take the wings, the 2s and the 3s. I got Zep Jasper that can play there, KD Johnson that can play there. I've got Chance Westford that can play there, Chris Moore, Leor Berman, Allen Flanagan. Those are 6 guys. 2 of those 6 will start. 4 of those 6 will play, and 2 are going to be on the bench. So there's going to be competition out there, and I hope the cream rises to the top.
Coach, one of the things that I've loved about your time at Auburn is your support for other coaches and other sports at Auburn. I feel like you coined the phrase "everything school." Auburn certainly started working toward that this off season with gymnastics and basketball doing great, and baseball making Omaha and equestrian, and I don't know, basket weaving. It felt like we were top 10 at everything.
I love how you say we, man. I love how you sound like Charles Barkley when you start talking like we, man. I like
it. We're Auburn guys. We're media, but we're Auburn guys. And but I want to talk to you a little bit about, again, the support you've had for other coaches. We are at SEC Media Days. This is the premier stage for all the coaches in the SEC to talk about what's coming up for their teams. You've shown support for Brian Harsin and his staff. If you got any message for him, he goes Thursday. We're going to sit down with him in a couple of days. What's your message to Brian Harsin going into a second year where year 1 maybe didn't go as planned and everybody's looking for a big jump in year 2?
Look, all I know is after we beat Ole Miss and we're 6-2, Brian Harsin was the best hire in the country. And the question was, if he continues to do what he do, man, is he going to want to stay in the SEC or is he going to want to jump for one of those other jobs? That's what the talk was, okay? And then things didn't end very well. We had some injuries. We lost Bo Nix in an injury situation. We got a couple tough breaks. You know, losing that lead to Mississippi State was devastating, and we just wasn't able to ever recover. But at 6-2, after we beat Ole Miss, you know, and so how could it shift so much in such a short period of time? Brian Harsin, a very good football coach, a very good man. We had a difficult offseason, but, you know, you heard Sir Charles, you know, the other day. You heard him. Everybody heard him say, leave the man alone. Let the man coach. All right, he's our football coach. He's a disciplinarian. There are people around the football program say in many ways he reminds them of Pat Dye and how he coached and how it was tough and physical and accountable. Man, that sounds to me like a good thing. That sounds to me like Coach Harsin is bought into the Iron Man concept, something I try to do as well. So he absolutely has my support. He's my friend. He's our football coach. Now, you remember, I wasn't in favor of when Auburn, let go of Gus Malzahn. That was not. I was publicly very support of Gus, and when Gus played his first football game down in Central Florida, I was there, and we're still good friends. But when Brian Harsin became coach at Auburn, he was my football coach. Gus was my friend, and that's how it is. And Auburn people need to get behind this football program, get behind these kids and this coaching staff. I can tell you right now, they're working really hard, and they've always worked hard since Coach Harsin's been here.
Yeah, Coach, one last question here for you. Everybody in the Auburn faithful is really getting into a position where basketball is just becoming a part of what is the culture at Auburn, right? Like it wasn't that before you got here. We've talked to you a little bit about that before, but can you just kind of reiterate to the people just how much it means for you to see Auburn as a basketball program rise in prominence within just the national landscape, not even just the SEC, but nationally, Auburn get that opportunity. And hopefully, hey, another #1 ranking this year. We'll see. But can you talk a little bit about that?
All I'm doing is holding up my end. That's all I'm doing. When you talk about Auburn being an everything school, talk about the school of nursing. You talk about what we've done in engineering. The way our accountants and finance do our school of business. Communications. I mean, I don't want to skip any, but I mean, it's incredible what Auburn is doing. It's incredible what our graduates do when they're available, and how employers are lining up at the door to hire our graduates in every single field. And so Auburn basketball, men's basketball was down. We were down. When I got here 9 years ago, our RPI, whatever that was back in the day, I think it was like 259. All right, 259. We were the 259th best program in the country. Only TCU at 263 on a 5-year average. That was the 5-year average prior to my getting here. Was worse. So I had no place to go but up. And I'm grateful to the Auburn family for, like the chicken and the egg. What happens first? Which one happened first? Our fans started filling up Auburn Arena before we were any good. We weren't winning championships, and they were coming. And the students were coming because they saw us playing hard. And they saw KT Harrell take a junior varsity team and get all the way to the Saturday game against Kentucky, upsetting Mississippi State and Texas A&M and LSU. It's just unbelievable. That team got it started. And then Austin Wiley came in from Birmingham, and he had a Pied Piper effect in our program. And then Jared Harper and Bryce Brown and D'Angelo Purifoy and Anthony McLemore, and that group started to win. And then the great players started to come. My staff developed pros out of it. And right now we got it going on. But guys, it's a lot easier to get it going than it is to keep it going. And all I've done so far at Auburn is to get it going. And I'm going to try to keep it going.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to seeing you keep it going here this upcoming basketball season. Safe travels on your trips abroad. Hoping that the student athletes in the program are able to get the most out of those experiences. Thank you for everything you do, and thanks for taking some time to talk with us.
You guys are the best, and we're very fortunate to have you guys here locally in War Eagle.
Well, that's it for another great edition of Building Rapport with our guy, Bruce Pearl. If you want more content like this, please hit like and subscribe. We are the War Rapport on every social media platform, TW Rapport on TikTok. Guys, we're signing off, and as always, War Eagle.